Hey folks, it's dinner time. I didn't see Scruffy from the window, so I took a chance, thought I could be here. Hey Scruffy, how you doing? You hungry? Is that a meow? Is that a meow? Really half-hearted meow. Okay, I heard that one. Yeah, the first two were really faint. So yeah, he's phoning it in. It's barely a meow. Guess you're not that hungry tonight, huh? He yawned. Guess he's bored. Okay, well, let's get this show on the way here. So I'm gonna pick up the plate. So I thought he was gonna start moving away. Okay, I'm gonna open the screen now. Try not to hiss. Is that a hiss or a sniffle? I was blinking, so I didn't see what he did. Because he was staring right at me, so I started blinking. Another half-hearted meow. So last night, after I stopped filming, I dumped the water, and I saw him in the garden, and it looked like he was drinking from a puddle in the mud in the garden. So even though I'm bringing out all this clean water, he's not drinking it. So that's really annoying. So I'm gonna probably put the bowl maybe a little closer, as I think maybe he hates the cove. Oh, by the way, yeah, I removed the carrier there, and I put it on the table back there. And oh, I also want to note the scratcher has moved, so I think maybe he used it, or maybe some other cat used it. Boots. Okay, so I'm gonna walk past him and change his water, and I'm gonna start opening up the cove here, so it's not quite as obstructed. Okay, so I'm taking the old, I'm taking the recycle bin away. Switch out the water. So I got the old water, and I don't know where the best place to put this is. Maybe a little more exposed. Put the new water in. And voila. Okay, so I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna sit in the chair. Okay. He meowed, and he's presenting himself. I'm still trying to get the glove on. Okay. Got the glove. Okay, ready? Yeah, he wants to be pet. So I guess that's progress. So he needs to move over. He has a grooming artifact back there at the base of his tail. Looks kind of bad. So I'm thinking, yeah, he may have been walking around the corner all these times because, yeah, after he eats, maybe he's been going to the garden to drink from the muddy puddle. Since we've had some rain, I'm guessing, yeah, there maybe enough water that he can drink from. But yeah, he's really skittish because he won't drink from a perfectly clean bowl that I put out for him. And this was yesterday after I removed the carrier and the blanket. So I put the carrier on the table and I put the blanket in the carrier, so I took out the bed comforter. So I did keep an eye out for him last night on the table because I was wondering if if he'd use the carrier. And then two, I was wondering if he'd even go on the table because since I changed things and I don't think he necessarily likes the carrier that much, I'm wondering if he would become afraid of getting on the table with all the new stuff on there. So I didn't see him jump on the table last night. However, about say an hour before dinner here, I saw him on the table. So I don't know. So I guess I'll just keep it there and see what happens. I'm trying to pet his back a little bit. So I'm trying to get a look at his grooming artifact. So yeah, his hair is kind of messy today. So the weather was actually really good today. So it's kind of those almost perfect days again. So we got sun. It's partly cloudy, but we got mostly sun. And let's see what else. Yeah, it warmed up a little bit. So I think we got into the high 60s. The wind died down, so there wasn't a wind chill factor. To go back and forth here. So I was looking for Scruffy since the weather was good. I assumed he'd be sunbathing. Uh-oh. Is he going to scratch? Okay. I saw him, say, late morning, and he was out of line of sight, so he was hiding behind stuff so I could see his reflection partly, but I couldn't see him directly. And then he disappeared, and then I didn't see him until I think an hour before dinner, when he was on the table. Okay, so how about we? Oh, you heard something. I heard something too. Okay, how about we get your food? Good stopping point. Ready for some food? So we got the super supper tonight. Your least favorite. Only the worst for you, Scruffy. Okay, so I'm gonna brush you. I'm gonna try to get the base of your tail. Okay, so it's, yeah, there's a pretty obnoxious grooming artifact at the base of his tail. It's actually not tangled, but yeah, it doesn't look good. So he's been grooming pretty heavily there. So I'm gonna guess he has a flea. So I'll keep monitoring it. Might have to give him another flea pill. there's a bit of a tangle here. Okay. So let's go to the other side here. My shoes in the way. Okay, I think I got everything there. I'm going to switch brushes now. So if you stick out your tail, I might try to brush your tail. He's kind of tucking it aside, so. Yeah, this side of the brush is probably pointless since the other brush kind of combed up everything already. But I'm still just trying to do this just to get him used to me. So I saw him, on the table about an hour ago. He was, just chilling out, I think looking at the yard. And then I think he might have been dozing. And then I think, somebody has a leaf blower down the street or something. It's really loud, so I could hear it from in the inside, and he could hear it. And I think maybe he was thinking maybe somebody was going to come back here with the leaf blower. So he got up and I think was alarmed by the leaf blower. And then he looked around. He actually turned around and looked at me in the kitchen. I don't think he actually saw me though, because he didn't seem to acknowledge my presence when he was facing my direction. So I don't know, maybe because of the lighting and the reflection and just the time of day, maybe, and the way his eyesight works, maybe he can't see me through that window for various reasons. So yeah, I'm done brushing him. I'll put the brush down. So then he kept turning, and then he basically decided to jump off the table. And then I filmed down on the ground near the door for a few minutes to see if he'd come to the door, and he didn't. So I think he might have been taking cover somewhere because maybe he was worried about the leaf blower getting closer. So also I noticed that the carrier that I put on the table is actually partly off the table. I don't think I put it there that way, but I might have. I don't know. I wasn't paying close enough attention because it's something I'd be concerned about because I don't want him to go in and then the thing tips over and falls off the table. So I was surprised to see it was partly off the table. So it could be that he or some other animal did climb up there and accidentally moved it. But it also could just be me that I just accidentally pushed it too far to the edge of the table. Because I did turn it a little bit so it's not perfectly straight on the table. And the reason was that if he goes in, I wouldn't be able to see him from my kitchen window. So if it's perfectly straight, I can't see into it. But yeah, as far as I know, he didn't go in it. But I'll straighten it out, I think, after he's done here. And then, the scratcher, I made that perfectly straight yesterday. And so it's really turned. And actually, I'm not sure, is it turned even more than when I filmed it earlier today? I took a picture of it earlier today because I noticed it had been turned, and so I'll compare that picture with what it looks like now, and we'll see. Because yeah, maybe he's using it, or maybe some other animal has gotten back here and started using it like boots. And so now the water is not in the cove anymore, so I'm hoping he'll drink the water now instead of drinking from the mud. I've been kind of wasting my time putting water out here since he's not drinking from it. Tempted to just stop giving him water. And, yeah, one of the viewers actually keeps telling me, make sure he has clean water. Okay, so I guess I'll keep doing that. So I read most cats get their water from their food. They don't actually need to drink water separately most of the time, but since I give them so much dry kibble, I guess it kind of makes sense. But I've been giving them wet cat food now, so it's wet cat food plus dry kibble. And if you recall, there was a day where he seemed to basically he wasn't food motivated by the dry kibble, so he just seemed to stop coming. I think this was shortly before a 100th episode, and so I was about to give up, but I said, okay, I'll give it one last try with wet cat food. But it better be cheap wet cat food. And then ironically, now it seems like he likes the dry kibble more than he likes the wet cat food. So he may have been spoiled with the good wet cat food. And now that I'm buying the cheapest stuff, I think that's actually out there. The 9 Lives pate, I keep buying. It's much cheaper than everything else. I mean, it's significantly cheaper than everything else. So there's probably something questionable about this food. But yeah, he probably doesn't like it as much. He's a feral cat, so I don't think he gets to be picky. And I just saw Jackson Galaxy did a series of videos on cat food. He basically was imploring that any wet cat food, doesn't care what, but any wet cat food is far superior to dry cat food. So he says he doesn't care, just any wet cat food would be a big improvement. So oh, he's actually going to go for the water, and then he's going to groom himself. But maybe he'll groom himself and then drink the water. So he actually finished a little early tonight, so he's a couple minutes faster. So I think I stopped petting him like a minute early. But yeah, I still managed to get through that food a little faster. Ooh, that was a sneeze, I think. So I haven't seen him cough since that other day, so I don't think that cough is a persistent thing. So anyway, it's supposed to rain and maybe thunderstorms tomorrow, but the percentage keeps going down, so I think it was at 40, I think, like 5 days ago, and then it actually disappeared, I think, yesterday, and now it's back up to 30%. So I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. So if it rains, Scruffy might be taking shelter. So I went for a bike ride today, knowing that there could be rain tomorrow, and then it'll be muddy the day after or so. And speaking of finishing early, yeah, actually, because I have kind of standard route, and so it has when I follow the standard route, there's a kind of top of the mountain hill that I usually try to get to before I take a break. On the slow end, it takes me maybe 45 minutes to get there. I'd say more typically my time's been around maybe 41 minutes. Today I got there like in 37 minutes, and I wasn't even trying that hard. So I think the rest day that I took yesterday had a big impact. Just being rested, I think improved my performance today quite a bit. There'll also be other things. So there's a lot of traffic and stoplights on my route, so just a couple stoplights can basically make a big difference in how long it takes me to get there. And I think the lights are pretty good to me today, so it could be that. So he didn't drink the water. Wow, that's annoying. Okay, well, I am going to straighten up here, fix the carrier, and clean up, and straighten out the scratcher, and prepare for tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye.